Hello. How's the timing on that one? That's not so bad.
All right, that's pretty sweet, brother.
It's Wednesday.
That sounds like that's some wrestling walkout music there, dude.
I put a little bit of work into that one.
That's a live. This is a live react from me right now because I had not heard that until just now.
Yeah, I did some work.
I can.
Yeah, it's so funny to be in my home studio because everything works. Like my microphone works. Like my mic stand works. Like my headphones work. It's not the worst. I'm Fred Slow. You're Van Nunley. We're here with you, and we're gonna wait for this thing to fill up a little bit because I tell you what, brother, it's been a while. Like 5 not full business days for you and I, as the closure of 2 Men On has come, and on to our next venture, which we're super excited to talk about here in a few minutes. How's your cell phone battery?
It's awful. It's getting drained every day. The friends of the show have been reaching out ad nauseum, but I am here for it. Our ripple effect that we had on the show and on the community, I know we stayed locked in, we stayed focused, but it's become very apparent very fast how much of an impact we had. It's cool to see.
Yeah, a wild 6-year run. Jay Choi is in the live Instagram chat. Jay Choi, a really good friend of the show. You know, Jay is like a super interesting personality, right? Because we're going to do a little town hall thing here, so feel free to jump in on whatever mechanism you're viewing on.
Hey, we ain't got to keep it a tight 12 minutes anymore, do we?
Well,
also, we can say fuck now, and that's incredible. So awesome.
Until we get Albertsons as a sponsor.
Yeah, for now.
Well, that's the thing with like using Jay as an example, right? Like we had the relationship with the terrestrial signal, and we're working with Jay and doing, filling the holes with him and Max Machado and you. And it was almost a little bit like the restraints of the terrestrial, really kept that product from becoming exactly what it could have been, which is the boys golf culture show. When you're out with a foursome on the range, and I mean, how many times have we golfed in life? Like, I'm a sailor, and it's, you hit one the right way, you get into one, or well, not even on a drive, but like you hit a long putt, you hit a shot, you make a shot you're not supposed to make. Like, you need like certain words to be able to show that enthusiasm. And, whenever you were doing the golf program with Jay and Max, yes, it was lacking that. You guys weren't able to use expletive to show the excitement around the game of golf and the culture it's become. Live chat is just going crazy, so welcome, everyone. I promise you we will get to you. After you and I did our final show here terrestrially in Albuquerque with 2 Men On Friday, we didn't make a public announcement at that time. We did know at that time that it was cooked. I think we told producer Andrew 5 minutes before the show started.
Yeah. No, 5 is being gracious. Like 30 seconds when the intro started, we're like, oh, hey, by the way, this is our last show.
Yeah, it was. We, our format at the end of the terrestrial show was we had 3 bosses, and we reported to 3 of them, and it was a different deal. And we were saying at the end of one of them we needed some stuff, and so eventually we go to the other 2, and we're like, hey, this isn't working out. And then so I think in the building, maybe even on the last day, 2 people knew outside of us, and so really thank you to they, for keeping that tight to the chest, because that was awesome of them, and if that had worked out. And by the way, I mean, terrestrial radio is a whole nother demon, which we'll get into. But yeah, I was super impressed with that. They got us good on the way out, which, you and I will talk about in private with anyone. But it was, it was an interesting little exit. And then, Monday, it was a holiday. You and I went camping over the weekend. We had an absolute blast. Went with Andy Lyman. And then Tuesday at 4:00 rolled around. And I tell you what, man, I must have got, from the time we put up that social media post on Saturday to the show on on Tuesday when we weren't there at 4:00, so 4:15, I guess throughout the whole program.
Yeah.
We did 100 texts. I mean, I must have got.
I got 16 texts in between 4 and 4:05.
Okay, so yeah, one every 15 seconds. Yeah, but it was a little bit something different, right? So we got a lot going on. We're obviously going to hit on it. We're going to give you the things that we know for certain first, and then we're going to give you stuff that's in the works. So there is some going on, which is awesome. I think not is everyone aware of just how tight knit this little community is. Think of the movie Anchorman, but then think of personalities that aren't funny, because that's kind of what this thing is. And
not wrong.
Here in Albuquerque, here in the Southwest, it's a small group, and that's fine. It's just you have to be in good standing to the best you can. So if it's terrestrial radio, or if it's print journalism, or if it's television or whatever, there's very much a symbiotic relationship in all those things. And I think we're in good standing, in most ways. And the people that I think would identify that we're not in good standing, and I think it comes down to two things. And I know I'm going to railroad you here for a second, but I think it comes down to two things. It's the people that don't consider us to be in good standings are people that we just didn't allow to fuck us.
Correct.
And that's an interesting one, right? Because I do think traditionally that's a part of the industry. I think traditionally you got to take some welts. You know how involved I am with NWA New Mexico and Duke City Championship Wrestling. You got to earn your stripes or whatever in entertainment. But I'm not brand new to this game, and you no longer are brand new to this game. And that's just kind of the truth as it stands here. With that said, we do know a handful of things for certain. For certain, we are emceeing on the 29th of September the name announcement for the new hockey team, the ECHL team here in New Mexico. That's going to be a big party at the Rio Rancho Event Center. It's going to be incredibly fun. You and I are going to go up there and welcome in the brand new New Mexico
whatever's
team. So we're super excited about that. That's going to go incredibly well. Speaking of hockey, you and I just put a ton of dates on our calendar for the New Mexico Ice Wolves.
That's going to be fun.
We're going to broadcast New Mexico Ice Wolves, which is going to be an absolute blast. We had the very good fortune of going out to Portales a week ago and doing some stuff with Eastern New Mexico. So we have some stuff in the works with them as well, including on October the 11th. They are at home, and we're bringing Duke City Championship Wrestling to the tailgate. So we're very excited about to bring pro wrestling out to Portales. So that's going to be a lot of fun for us to put that together, organize that. So big win, I think, for your boys, and then lastly, we do have a landing spot. We do have a place in mind for the immediate, and we're wildly excited about that. We're going to change our format very slightly, and whenever we do, up until the point of a return to terrestrial, which we are forecasting within the month.
Yeah, won't be long.
No, as early as next week, as long as a couple weeks from there. But you and I have professionally been able to go to very signature events. If it's working with WWE, by the way, I have a fun spot tomorrow with Xavier Woods from WWE. We're going to grab a really fun interview tomorrow that will be produced and put on our social media networks. But we go to the Super Bowl every year. We've been so fortunate to do that. I've been doing it since my St. Louis days. We've done it here in Albuquerque for the last 5 years. And we regularly enjoy time working with the guys from the Believe Network. And the Believe Network is, and if you're not familiar, it's BLEAV. It's incredibly good. They cover every team specifically. They cover every topic.
Yeah.
Once
you learn how to spell it, it's going to be your favorite podcast network.
The BLEAV.com.
BLEAV.
And what it is, it's pronounced Believe, but it covers them all, right? And so there's signature shows as they relate to think like your favorite football team, think your favorite whatever, right? And then all the celebrity experts that go along with that, including Phil Simms and David Pollock, and I could run the list for you, but there's a ton of them. Sean Casey runs the one for the Reds, right?
Yeah.
There's just a lot. Lawrence O'Neill runs the one for the Chargers. We could keep going, right?
Sure.
So with that said, we are returning to the digital format only for the immediate. So on Monday, like we have done for many years, we're going to be live from Howie's. So we're going to go to Howie's Sports Page. Thank you to Howie's Sports Page, as we're going to return there. We're going to do the program as we've traditionally done it. We're still going to host Monday Night Football. It's still going to be that stupid fun party that we've had for so long. And then later in the week, depending upon the schedule of the guest, we're going to do a very similar format to this, but it's going to be like an exchange show. So it's going to be who you are, what's your expertise, and tell us about the thing that you cover. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to kill it with jokes in the format that we traditionally have. And then throughout the course of that plan, we will at some point announce our next step. And again, I know I'm railroading you because I wanted to get a bunch of information out here because I see all these questions rolling in. Because you and I are a little bit in a fortuitous situation. Like we're not motivated to move to the wrong deal, you know. And as we've explored, I have multiple streams of income, you have multiple streams of income. How fortunate we have been to take this hobby that is radio and turn it into a money producing outlet for us.
Right.
With that said, we just have to make sure the landing spot's right. And although we're very excited about one option, not until the line is dotted and signed are we going to make that announcement. So
I know chicken counter.
Correct.
But we are working on some really cool things, man. So friends of the show out there, get excited. We have a landing spot immediately. Again, Believe Network, BLEAV. You'll catch TalkABQ and all of our shows that we have on Believe coming super soon. And we're working on a lot of new fun stuff. But I think we kind of just like glossed over the fact why we stepped away.
Yeah.
Like, and staying positive and staying high road here. I kind of feel, don't want to speak for you, Fred, but we kind of hit a glass ceiling where we were. And we kind of like our digital product kind of started to get better numbers than the terrestrial product. And I believe we should be on every possible outlet, period. You know, AM, FM, live streaming, vodcasting, podcasting, Spotify, Apple. I think we should have Believe now. So please check out Believe. We need to have as many options as possible to bring this product to as many friends of the show as possible. And I do feel that we kind of hit a glass ceiling. And by the way, friends of the show, this was our decision.
Well, that's a good point.
I know those who know us very well probably assumed we were fired in disgrace because of our own actions. And let me reassure you, that is not the case. We have been good boys. This was on our own terms. This was our decision, just so we can refocus and regroup and bring a better product to you. So with that being said, we're not on the radio anymore. Let's fucking go, baby.
Well, and, you're making a good point because, our terrestrial relationship that we had before this, even at the end, like incredibly willing to like work throughout the issues that were at hand. And those issues, although I do believe they were all mendable, like it was, we couldn't necessarily find a commonality on can we prevent, these issues from recurring in the future? And the answer was no, and it was, and I think this is going to strike true for everyone. We just have so much real estate in life. We have so much. I have a day job where I run the Boys and Girls Club. That is part of my identity. That's part of my life. I own NWA New Mexico. That's part of my identity. That's part of my life. We just yesterday signed a lease on a brand new training facility. Like that takes effort.
It's big.
Thank you. Yeah, and that big announcement's coming, by way of NWA New Mexico very soon. But not could you and I regularly exhaust ourselves on moving in a circle and never making progress. And that's where we felt we were stuck. Yeah. And
I'm not here to tread water.
No. If we're going to work really hard, let's work towards something.
Yeah.
And there was some truth there. And like any job, it's, sometimes your job title changes. Sometimes your roles and responsibility changes. And that's fine. And you and I, me more than you, it's a fun combination of talent and tech, and we're capable to do stuff. But the more emphasis you give to one or the other, the loss that does occur. And we got to the point where it was, well, we're no longer able to focus on the talent part. We're no longer able to focus on the content part. We're no longer able to do what we believe is resonating. So here we go, and I do think our next landing spot, and this is the most cliche thing when you move on from a relationship or a professional or business or otherwise, but not only are we going to land on our feet, I think we're going to land on our feet with some support. So I'm super excited about that, and Believe is going to be tremendous. So Check them out for sure. BLEAV.com. I think we're debuting on Monday. Yeah. So Monday will be our first go on that. We haven't named the show yet.
Yeah.
That is a big one. That is a huge one. Oh, here's a fun one here from the live chat. I'm just cherry picking at this point, but Jeff Ruiz, who's a referee for Duke State Championship Wrestling.
Jeff the ref. What up, big dog?
Tremendous human being. Works with kids. Is a contributor to his community.
I like some kids.
Yeah, loves God. Like, he's a good human being. Hey, pro wrestling is not the state fair because of the state. I cannot stress that to you. When you read those stupid articles talking about how the state fair is going to close next year and talk about how it's all over, the state does not want to help the state. The state of New Mexico has a state athletic commission. That state athletic commission has these rules that they claim cannot waiver. And these rules include having a medical professional, a certified doctor, MD, licensed with the state and the state athletic commission that has to be ringside at every single match. Okay, that's your rule. Provide it. I'll pay for it. It costs me $500 a show. I think it's $450. It costs me $450 a show. I will pay that. I will fucking pay that to the state to have a doctor. And then I call the state. I say, hey, the 4th through the 11th, we got pro wrestling every day. Put a doctor there. They say, oh, you're going to have to pay more. That's not enough money for them to be there. That's not in the rules. The rules say $450. I say, so how about this? Just waive the rule. No, we can't. It's the rules. I go, oh, well, I can't. I'm not going to pay you more money. It's in the rules. You just said the rules. So they said, we're not going to find any doctors. I said, I just want to make sure I understand. Pro wrestling is not happening at the state fair because the thing that you mandate by state law, rule, not law, rule, the thing that you mandate by state rule, because you won't do it. And they go, well, we tried. I go,
doesn't sound like they tried.
Yeah, that's not my thing, is it?
It sounds like they put zero effort into it.
So see where that ends up.
Yeah.
See where that ends up with your boy, because you know how I will
painting with a broad brush here, but that is so fucking New Mexico of stupid. Them. Like, just push it off as long as possible, land a manana, and then
Yep. From the live chat, what's up with Filling the Holes? It's going to Believe. That's what's up with Filling the Holes.
Filling the Holes will be on Believe, and Filling the Holes will have a local spot soon as well.
Yeah, so Filling the Holes Going Over, which is a pro wrestling show I did for a long time up until Reasons. It also is going to go to Believe to start, and then from there, it will have a terrestrial landing as well. So we're super excited about that. Also, had some really fun talks with NWA. So I think there's going to be an NWA centered.
Which one?
Podcast.
Dre?
Nope.
Cube?
Not that one. Nope.
MC Ren?
That's not the one.
Not Eazy-E.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Scott Thomas, says rules are only flexible for things they can make money off of. That's very factual.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Arbitrary and capricious. That's a legalese. I'm very familiar with it. But it's fine. Because now New Mexicans don't get pro wrestling at the state fair because the state of New Mexico does not support the state fair. The state of New Mexico does not support small business and pro wrestling. I got it. Hey, WWE's coming to town?
They wouldn't allow a doctor there, but now they're going to need way more of a police presence there because people are going to fucking riot that there's no wrestling at the state fair. They got a little They got a little taste of it last year, and now it's not going to be there this year. Woo, buddy.
So silly. It's the silliest thing of all time. I know we said we were going to go an hour, and I wanted to make sure when we got through the first third that I circled back to the thank you for everyone who helped us on this way. I know we've talked to everyone individually, but I'll give you an example. Jamie Lynn from I9 Sports reached out, and she just sends the kindest words any human being's ever sent to me. And they're day oneers. Yeah. You know, I9 Sports has been a day one sponsor of the radio we did. I9 Sports, and we never talk about this stuff on air because we'd be told, hey, this was terrible. You can't mention this. We ripped them away from ESPN. Like they were on ESPN. We went over and they go, hey, we can get you. We're doing Saturday mornings. Like people driving around with their kids in their car are listening to us. Oh, you do your sports on Saturdays? Like come to us. Like we got you.
Right.
So I9 Sports, big thank you to that sponsor who was a part of everything we did for so very long. Also friends of the show. No one's leaving us. That's the craziest part. Like that's
who's coming with me, man.
It's awesome. YMCA I talked to today, I explained to them the situation. I say, hey, why? What can we do for you? They've been with us since 2021.
Yeah.
YMCA has been with us forever.
Yeah.
They go, we got you.
I mean, definitely shout out to the OGs like New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the incredible human being, Matt Breger, who helped us launch, who saw our vision 7 goddamn years ago. Like, we pitched him and he was like, this is exactly the kind of thing we need in the community. You guys' passion for your originality, your creativity, and like your vision of what you want to see and do and improve the community. People like New Mexico Pinon Coffee, who we had a 1-week relationship with when they saw our vision and jumped in with us.
We'd met them through this before radio. I was on a fundraiser for JDRF, which you helped set up at Sports and Wellness. They were a vendor. Speaking of vendors, the chat says, doesn't the state fair use vendors for food? Well, that's a real interesting one, because there were a bunch of laws talking about grease traps, and there were a bunch of laws talking about how you dispose of your waste. But whenever the state fair got knocked by the state for that, do you think that stayed within that? Or do you think the state fair took it in their own means to go down to the big enchilada and say, hey, here actually is how we execute things, and we cannot be arbitrary.
Sure.
Cannot exist. I can give you a ton more examples, but I'm telling you what I know. With that said, talk about Matt. How about Matt Bollinger over there at the Rio Rancho Event Center? That dude's a dude.
What a
dude. He's had us since day one, too. The very first sponsor we ever had, the very first check ever cut to us was hosting the Pork and Roux, which, by the way, we killed. It died.
Yeah. We ran that one out of town.
That was in 2020.
Yeah.
Or 2019. I guess that was 2019 because COVID killed it the next year. But I mean, you and I will be at Weird Al on Friday. It will not suck.
Yeah, come say hi to your boys.
And I will sing Yoda. Like, it will be, I don't know the names of the songs, but
yeah,
I know I'm gonna love.
I'm gonna have to brush up for sure.
I will do that. Yeah, those are the ones. Like, still with this throughout, right? Even the Recognition Place, who just came along, Jason Thomas, incredibly love-filled. If you were trying to celebrate anything in your life, go to the Recognition Place. Work with Jason Thomas. He's a hella dude. Like, Summer Willis reached out from 669er, and she's like, hey, if you guys are super broke, I'll feed you. No, we're not super broke.
We're fine.
But I will, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, people in the industry, people outside of the industry, the outpouring of love and support has not gone unnoticed. You guys are absolutely incredible. Sorry we didn't warn you ahead of time. Sorry that we didn't have a calendar. Sorry we didn't give you a shiv to etch into your jail cell when the show was actually going to be over.
Yeah.
We're our apologies. We wanted to kind of take the high road, not make a big deal about it, and just rip off the Band-Aid and then move on to the next phase of TalkABQ and whatever 2 Men On becomes, and filling the holes and going over. And, you know, if you haven't noticed yet, we have myself and Andy Lyman have Hyenas Presents The Green Room. You can catch that on Spotify and Apple. That's about to get launched terrestrial also. So, I mean, we're not going to stop producing content. We're not going to stop entertaining. We're here for yous guys.
Yeah, that's the point, right? And I don't know what the definition of success is, right? Is it where we want to be? I'm not hosting the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was the goal when I was a kid.
Sure.
But is success the distance we've traveled since we've been here? Because, you know, if you and I are telling the story and we go back to 2019 when I had to buy a ticket to get into Macklemore and I was pissed. And then I said, hey, let's start a a talk radio show. And you were like, yeah, that sounds wild. I was like, cool, we'll broker weekends. And we went around town. Like, we don't talk about this stuff enough. I went around town and I go and meet with all these different radio stations, and I'm talking to them and I'm going, hey, what's it cost to broker here? And they go, broker? Why? Why'd you do that? Yeah, why would you do that? You know how much effort that takes? Like, I go, yeah, man, just let me pay you to be here. And brokering in radio is like getting a barber chair. Like, it's like if you're like a barber and you pay for your chair, that's what this was, right? So we go out and we're getting ridiculous numbers, friends of the show. We're getting like, people are like, oh, it's going to be $1,200 an hour. So I'm like, oh, no, it is not.
No, it is not.
It is not going to cost that.
We're not selling boner pills. We got a talk show.
Steve Palmisano of the Dukes is with us. He says, this is classic Steve. If I knew you day one, I would never bought in. Okay, that's not even a nice thing. That's a mean thing.
Number one, it's funny, but also incredibly true.
Correct. Who we were then is not who we are now.
I would have ran from me 6 years ago as well.
From the live chat, yesterday's drive home in KNML was hella lame. Let me tell you this: the terrestrial partnership we had forever was awesome. Ton of opportunity, presented us with relationships that we have been able to grow into prosperity in a lot of ways. Now, I'll tell you, a lot of those relationships we have through KNML with other people in this community are stronger with us than their relationships are with what other entities in the city. But this happened in pro wrestling. The August show, is that correct? The August show at the Block, which is this like entertainment venue in Rio Rancho, their leadership canceled that wrestling show. And it was the dumbest shit of all time. So they cancel this wrestling show, and then all the fans of Duke City Championship Wrestling go and do like 1-star bombs on like reviews. And they start doing,
it's formed like Voltron, baby. Let's go.
And I love their passion. Like their passion's awesome, but it's not the Block. You know, it's the one gal that's in charge. And I didn't know that A. Marie was going to be on the show until a bunch of people texted me yesterday.
Right.
Not
also, our business.
We didn't ask. Like, and also she's like us. She's polarizing. Like you love her or you hate her. Like those are the only two. I know which camp I'm in. I know I heard through text what a camp a lot of people are in. And it's not her. You know, she's the product that she creates is not the product that we create. But she does a thing that she's very proud of. And I would encourage people to support her because she's not a bad human being by any means.
Sure.
She just makes a different product than we do, which to me works.
Yeah, I mean, different is key. I mean, and that's kind of what we set out to do is we had from the very beginning a unique vision of what sports entertainment is supposed to look and sound like, what sports adjacent content is, like reaching into the world of pop culture and mixing some variety and just not talk, oh, the Yankees are 3.5 games out of first place, so they have a .330 batting average when they're on the road in September. Like, that's not what we do, and that's not what we will ever do.
We're putting together the best lineup of all teams in the NFC West, and we're going to tell you exactly how you'd fill it out if you got to pick the best players from all of them. No, we won't.
I feel that our determination, our chutzpah, since the very beginning, us putting our foot down and saying, this is our content, this is our product, take it or leave it. And I think that's one of the points of contention on the way out was like, hey, like we set this up like this for a very specific reason, that we are autonomous, that we do create our own content. We own our own content. This is all TalkABQ, what we produce, and we hold the rights to everything. If we're going to put our names on it, if we're going to put our stamp of approval on it, it has to be completely unique. It has to be completely us. And then when we're not available to do that, that's when I have problems with the situation. But here we are.
This friend of the show, Chris, just texted me. Chris is from Three Brothers Autoglass. He's lovely.
Shout
out.
He
says, boys, I hope
fix both of our windows.
He says, boys, I hope you're just on vacation.
Oh, no. It's real.
It's every day. I mean, here's a whole bunch. Yeah. I mean, obviously my phone is just now getting all these 4 o'clock texts, but it's it's a nonstop thing. But you're talking about the content, right? We need the content to be unique and different to the market. You know, if this program already existed in this market, we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You know, years ago there was a similar thing was on the edge, and I was aware of that. You know, and it was, well, can we fill that gap? Because that listener is now 10 years older.
Yeah.
Well, we can capture them with similar style product, but 10 years refined, right? And so it has to be a cool product. It has to be a product that stands on its own. And, you know, Steve Palmisano was with us earlier. And that's why it was so important to partner with the Dukes. You know, the Dukes is such a
iconic brand,
culturally relevant, specific to this community. And a lot of other things have tried to be the Dukes. The Albuquerque fucking Isotopes have tried to be the Dukes. They're not the New York Isotopes. They're not the Albuquerque Yankees. Like, they can't even be the Dukes. And that's because that thing is so special. And no, we don't have the 100-year history that they have. But, you know, we had a little 5-6 year run there where if anyone else came in and tried to do the product that we were doing, it would be called a knockoff product. It'd be called a copycat product.
Yeah.
Because we were doing it. And that's the reason why it kind of stood the way it did. And, all those individuals who didn't like the transition from the two cats that were on before we took over the Daily Show to us, I'll tell you what, they came back. Like they told us they came back.
Yeah.
And then, the people that forever refused to, we didn't hear from them. They didn't talk to us.
Yeah. And for all the people who wanted a program like the one before us on the Sports Animal, congratulations. You're probably going to get one of those pretty soon, because they don't want to deal with anybody like us anymore. So I guarantee you're going to have a little more palatable regular sports talk show now.
I very much agree.
Not us.
No, not us at all. But very excited. And again, to recap, if you joined us late, we got a bunch of dates coming up. Ice Wolves hockey, a ton of it. We're emceeing the event for the New Mexico ice hockey team as they do their name release. So we're going to be a big part of that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, we're going to be out all the time because that's our deal. Mondays are still going to be at Howie's. We're the immediate doing digital distribution on Believe.com, BLEAV.com. The Believe Network is incredibly good. They have a ton of fun stuff on there. We're excited to be a part of it. We will encourage you to come with us. That's going to be a big deal. The compensation outside of our immediate sponsors, which, by the way, if you want to be a part, reach out to us, Fred at TalkABQ, Van at TalkABQ. We own that moniker. We own that brand. We own the 2 Men On brand. I know it's dead to us right now, but we own the thing. It's still our thing.
Sure.
All those things are very real. So reach out, be a part. We do have a lot more freeway than we historically had, so we can do kind of whatever we want, which could be treacherous. So maybe we should set some house rules.
Yeah, sure.
We will do a rebranding, so we're super excited about that. And then, this we're going to get to in the last third of this thing, which I know we're a minute early, but it's we're going to put together the best content creators we know in this community.
Right.
A big thing that held us up, I'll just give you an example. We're on the board of directors at the YMCA. So I chaired the golf fundraiser, the golf social for the YMCA, and that was at Pars and Rec.
Yeah.
So we bring up, hey, it's the golf social with the YMCA. This is on terrestrial radio, right? It's the golf, and it's at Pars and Rec, and this, that, the other thing. And they go, Pars and Rec don't pay us. And I go, YMCA pays us. We're gold. But you're mentioning Pars and Rec. That's where the event's at. And by the way, if we make the right effort and do a good job and show this thing out, could they be a potential future partner? Let's, figure out that plan. Oh, Sadie's is donating the food. Sadie's doesn't sponsor you anymore. You're right. Everyone in this conversation is correct.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you this. They're sponsoring the Y. And that is who we help, because that Y helps. This is the moment that you split straws right now. You're trying to split hairs right now when we're helping kids. This is where you're drawing the line in the sand. Well, and that's the fun part about this, right? Because now we have opportunity to be a part of all those communities again without restraint. So anyway, wildly positive and optimistic are we about moving forward with all those fun community partners, including the YMCA, including the Boys and Girls Club, and all others. You're golfing tomorrow with the Quad A stuff. That's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
I'm doing keynote speaking stuff at the Brotherhood LOL, which is an incredibly cool fellowship convention for men in Albuquerque. I got a big meeting on that tomorrow. There's just all these cool opportunities, for us to take the platform that terrestrial radio gave us and now, catapult it even further. And when we do eventually land again back terrestrially, because I believe we'll have this deal done before the end of the month, if all goes well.
Agreed.
Then we'll reintroduce it, if it's to the daily format like we were doing, or if it's to, I wouldn't hate going back to weekends. But we're going to be able to do it with all the talents and content creators we know. That's the individuals that help us with pro wrestling. That's the individuals that help us in the comedy world. That's the individuals that help us with our video stuff. That's the individuals that help us with our photography stuff. And we can kind of run the list. I did a really good sit down with Noah Vargas the other day on his podcast. There's a bunch of people in this community that have a ton of talent that maybe haven't had the opportunity. Well, here we are. We have an opportunity to present that. That's our opportunity now. Somebody helped us. We're in a position where we can help others. Let's go. As if the worst thing we do is rise the tide a little bit.
Yeah.
How much easier it's going to be for all these boats. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a effort that's worth giving, as opposed to the effort that was just against resistance, which I'm so very happy to be moved towards.
Well, we're just so independent, and some might say bordering on stubborn.
Yeah,
Some with a couple oat sodas in them might say cocky. I'd like to draw a line somewhere below cocky.
sure.
Confident is incredible, but like, we're just so independent. We aren't good at taking orders or directions. Like we kind of got it figured out. Like allow us the free space to do what we want. And I think that's where we can drive ourselves and each other. Cause I know, we lift each other up and we make each other better. But if we can create our own unique content and have the 100% freedom to do that, I think that's when we're working at our peak.
Yeah, I think you're making a good note. I'll tell you what I say that's a little bit different than the way you just said it is I don't necessarily know if it's stubborn, but I think I don't care about matters of taste.
Sure.
Like matters of taste that's the thing, right? The customer's always right in matters of taste.
Ellipsis and matters of taste.
Like, and you can tell me how great this style of program is and all the reasons you enjoy it. Yes, I believe you. Like, and you can tell me how great this style of program is and all the reasons, and I go, yes, I believe you.
Sure.
But the thing that I create, I really enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the thing I want. And how fortunate we were to have an audience that also enjoyed that. It's going to come as no surprise to anyone. I don't have a Netflix login. Like I don't sit on my TV is literally on the floor facing the wall because I've never plugged it in. Like but if you come up to me and say, hey, I really need to do your thing the way that this 1 to 3 season flash in the pan pop culture phenomenon is doing the thing, I go, I can't. I've been at this thing for almost 24 years. Like I don't know how to do what you're describing.
Yeah.
Also, I don't have the time to consume that thing to then mirror it. Like that's part of my life too. I can't watch every single game. Are you kidding me? You know how incredibly hard it is to wake up on Saturday morning, watch 3 hours of a crap pregame show that Fox put on that only blows the Big Ten because they had the Big Ten contract, and then also simultaneously watch 3 hours of a pregame show that ESPN's putting on and watch them blow the SEC because they have an SEC contract. And now my sports is for some reason American politics, and I have to pick a side between the Big Ten and the SEC, and I have to also claim that the Mountain West has relevancy, and because of shuffles, I can't name every team in it. And if I can, I don't know what year they start or when they don't. And then you go, or I could just tell jokes.
Sure.
Because people laugh at jokes. That's the one. Well, Fred, I don't think you're funny. I know. You also don't think a lot of stuff is funny. Like, that's not unique to me. Fred, you don't think it's the most serious thing in the world that the Pavia brothers went to Nashville and got in a drunken debacle because their brother's the quarterback of there's jokes there. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's lame. I don't think it's the end of the world. Don't get mad when I say that.
Again, this is the opinions of two unique people. This is the clever musings of two unique people. We don't represent the world.
No.
We're providing entertainment. We're trying to get you through your day. We're trying to inform and entertain. Like we want to make you laugh. Like doing 2 Men On for close to 5 years. If I didn't make you laugh one time per segment, I wasn't doing my job. If I didn't make you giggle on the way home,
sure,
and make your day better, I wasn't doing my job. Like I would feel awful if I brought my personal life to the show. I have all of the first world problems. I have all of the mental health issues, but it helps me. It raises me. It balances me out when I know somebody's listening and they're being entertained and I can make someone laugh and I can brighten someone's day. That means the absolute world to me. And even beyond that, like it's kind of like a perpetual challenge for the two of us. Every day I'm trying to make you pop, Fred. I'm trying to make you lose focus in the middle. I'm trying to say something so funny that you lose your shit temporarily. Because we can tell jokes and laugh and we know what's funny, but like we're in the moment, we're creating content. But when you have a moment that's so good that either I lose it for a second or you lose it for a second, that's the most pure thing you could do for somebody listening. And
And
I
then,
say, we both have pretty fucking good sense of humor. So for
been
making each
lucky.
other laugh, it's going to work for everyone.
And
Almost everyone.
almost.
That's too broad of a brush. Yeah, come on now.
The live chat's got a bunch of notes here. Don't forget there are free hot dogs at Howie's on Mondays. Yes, I mean that's.
Oh yeah.
I mean the friend of the show knows.
Yeah.
The
still free glizzies, still giveaways, still frosty mugs, still the best wings in town.
I'll take. We didn't mention this. I know we said we keep it to an hour, but I heard really kind words from like those who'd worked with us, historically too. And I think there's this ignorance in media and the perception of media, because the idea that there's like awful announcing, right? Like, oh, we're media that covers media. Okay, like
a little too inception-y for me.
Get a hobby.
Yeah.
But the Tyler Lovely reached out to me, sent me a diatribe. I'll say his name on air because he's a good young man who's doing life a complete opposite way that I would do life.
That's an understatement.
Everything about him is the opposite of what Fred would do in this situation, but he's love-filled. And we were fortunate to work with and that was incredible. Robert Gibson reached out to us. We haven't talked to Robert Gibson in years. We went very different paths professionally. But he's a world of talent. And he reached out and just said the kindest things to us. And, had a similar exit. All right, this is, by the way, I don't brag enough about my graphic design skills.
Yeah, sure.
But I do have that thing. If Cracker Barrel would have called me, we would have been in the good the whole time. There's a bunch of those individuals. We got flubbed a little bit on our exit from the terrestrial station. So we had to go in today and work some paperwork on some stuff. So we go in today, we work some paperwork. How kind Bob Clark has forever been to us. Bob Clark is how kind TJ Trout has forever been to us.
Yeah.
There's no human being I see more opposite than Eric Strauss. Eric Strauss, if you ask me, is wrong on every single subject that's ever been introduced to the world, period. But he's never, at least to my face, been awful. and I very much appreciate that. Jeff St. Louis, who makes professional radio here in town.
We were just texting earlier today.
Love-filled.
What a dude.
Love-filled. Like the list is long. Individuals who have left the United, individuals who have left the Isotopes, individuals who have left UNM. You're noticing a trend. Individuals who have done really well here, stand out as really talented and really special and really unique. They get opportunity elsewhere. Shit. Did we just join that exact same group? That's a wild thought. Because entertainment is, you work till you get fired. You work till you have to quit. That's what entertainment is. And all these things we just talked about, now, Fred, sports is serious. You can go to college for it. You can get a degree in it. Fred, broadcast serious. You can go to college for it. You can get a degree in it. It's all just entertainment. Kurt Cobain called it. Like we're all here. And when greater opportunity presents itself, you take it. We currently have that.
You were mentioning great people that we worked with at the Cumulus cluster, and I'm not gonna say a lot of names of people, but I want to say one all the way at the top. Had our back the whole time, and far beyond being just a good boss, a great human being. Jeff Barry. So shout out to Jeff Barry.
Good human being.
What a dude. Anyone who's worked with him or knows him personally knows that he is a class A dude.
Gave us opportunity.
And it like when I know I hinted on it a little bit earlier in this program, but when friends of the show and partners and sponsors in the community kind of heard that we were severing the relationship with Cumulus and the sports animal, it was incredibly bipolar.
That's real.
It was, oh my God, what did you guys do? Am I going to read about it in the paper next week? Or it was, oh my God, what did they do wrong? And it's like, it's neither. It's like, it's none of these two extremes. Why we're not doing the product that you've been used to for the past 6 years, if you count the weekend show. The reason isn't them. I mean, it's us. Like we felt that, we would do better. We would have a better product if we looked at other options. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like we hit a glass ceiling, and we believe in ourselves. By the way, BLEAV, we believe in ourselves. Check out believe.com, new landing spot for all of our programs. But we believed in ourselves, and we wanted to take this leap and do something brave. I mean, we're we've been rogue this whole time. We've been outlaws this whole time. And the second I start to feel a little bit domesticated, like I freak out. And I think we were right up against that moment. So we were proactive, saw the writing on the wall, and here we are. We're going to be on different landing spots, different products, but still the same old Van and Fred that you guys have come to love. We won't stop working in the community. We won't stop doing cool things in Albuquerque and New Mexico and kind of wherever they will have us. So do not fret, friend of the show. We're here.
My favorite part about that idea that you're sharing is in life, and I'm not a therapist, I'm not a guy who's going to tell anyone how to exist, but sometimes and often you can do everything right.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work out. And you think, well, this is devastating. This is the end of days. I'm not at KNML anymore. I'm also not at KMOX anymore. I'm also not at KFNS anymore. I'm also not at WLCA anymore. I'm also, no longer coming out of Hamtramck in, Michigan. That's how this industry works. The best guys in radio in this town right now used to be the best guys in TV in this town. Like the best guys in TV now run community-centered stuff for the sports teams in town. There's a graduation to this thing. And you and I have graduated to a new thing, which I'm low-key very excited about, because we're going to create really good content, and we're going to do it without arbitrary and capricious, standards, rulings, suggestions that we don't necessarily need. And also, any food brought to the table, I didn't push away.
Sure.
I said, let me taste that. Let me sample that. Oh, shit. I don't eat shellfish. It was a good idea. I recognize that you love shellfish. I recognize you think you can make shellfish in the most delicious way that shellfish can be prepared. I cannot eat that shit. I'm not your guy. That doesn't mean I hate you. That doesn't mean like your emotional state I'm an authority of, because I'm not. In fact, I've never considered your emotional state. And I recognize that messes up your emotional state.
Sure.
Like, I'm not confused. But I've never apologized for that. I've never been mad at anyone. Ever. And there might be two human beings where I go, that's a bad person. That person is not helping others. Mm-hmm. That person is closing the door behind them. And I tell you, and I tell my boss. And then it dies there. I don't even tell that person. I'm just not an option.
It's not worth it. It'll eat at you. Yeah, don't allow others to dictate your happiness. Don't allow others to dictate your baseline mental health. It is an absolute waste of time. Learn from it and move on.
And then help. Like, just help others. And recognize we got different paths. I'm a teacher by degree. I went to college to teach. I don't know what I'm doing in radio. I got into it.
Yeah. I dropped out of college to play poker for a living. Yet here we are 20 years later. Wildly different paths. 23
years ago, someone said to me, hey, Fred, do you think you could do radio? I said, okay. Yeah, sure. You know what else I could do? Other easy shit. I'll do this one. This is the one I want.
Yeah.
Fred, you never got anywhere. You know what I got? Sweet veneers from Scott Isham. Does that count?
Yeah, sure.
Hey. Yeah. That's what I got. I made it.
It significantly helped your face.
Oh, I
am very happy for you.
Well,
I'm more happy for other people when they look at you now.
Yeah.
It's a better experience for them, and I am happy for others because of it.
One time a gal said to me, you look like a guy who's trying to learn how to smile. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't hate that at all. Ugh. From the live chat, teaching is rough but rewarding, just like wearing what y'all are doing. That's kind. My Boys and Girls Club job is a really good example of this. Like, I cannot be arm's length at club sites. Like, I did that for years. Like, when I lived in St. Louis, I worked at community centers. I worked at
hey, look, from the man himself.
Oh, that's so funny.
Scott Michael Isham. Teeth look great.
That's so funny.
I hope he thinks so. He's the one that did them.
He's the best. But what I am pretty good at is showing the value of something. And I learned that through radio. I learned to say, hey, here's the value of the Boys and Girls Club. Here's how many kids we help. Here's how we service them. Here's the results after that. If that excites you in any way, how would you be interested in supporting financially? And that skill that I developed through talk radio and probably pro wrestling, using to help kids, that's the best. Yeah. Like if radio gave me anything, it gave me a tool set to help kids. I'm doing pretty fucking good.
Hard agree.
Happy.
When we sat down 6+ years ago to be like, hey, we're both into this. We both want to do this. But I was like, hey, I've been a social worker. I've been in the mental health, developmental disability industry for over a decade. I was like, I can't do this unless we help people in the community. And like from day one, we started assigning people in the community looking for helpers. And like we've said over and over again the past few years, like we help helpers. If you're doing something good in the community, we want to shine a spotlight on it. We want to find a way to help, whether it's us getting our hands dirty in the trenches or helping raise some money, hosting a fundraiser, putting you on the show, giving you exposure. But like, yeah, as lowly as working a mop, we've done it all. But like that helper hole in my heart, when I changed careers and started doing this almost full-time-ish with you, I was like, there's no way I can do this unless we're out in the streets helping people, trying to make our influence help Albuquerque be a better place, whether it's a little bit at a time or a big event or however. Like that was wildly important to me at the interim years and years ago. And I do believe we've been successful at that. And it's something that we 100% have to put a focus on and keep doing.
Well, and, full transparency, I don't know how many things we've hosted. I don't know how many things. I could name yours, you can name mine. Sure. But it's multiple things a year. It's all the time. It's incredible efforts. We've never taken $1. Never one time have we gone to a thing and been like, hey, Watermelon Mountain Ranch, hand me cash for doing this. Never. Yeah. Hey, Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network, hand me cash. Never. No. Hey, Special Olympics, never. Hey, Make-A-Wish, never. Hey, Boys and Girls Club, never. Hey, YMCA, never. Hey, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, never. I can keep running the list.
Sure.
I'm telling you, that's not true for everyone you see hosting things.
No.
I'm going to tell you, that's not always the approach. Are we always the best? No. Steve Stucker's always available.
Yeah.
We're not the best. I'm going to tell you we're the most affordable.
That's literally my line. Every event I host, I lead with that. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Steve Stucker was double booked, so you're stuck with me.
Yeah. It's great to have you all here today. Forecast is disappointment. Steve Stucker not here. That's
I know there's people at their round white tablecloth tables leaning into each other like, I bet Van starts with the Steve Stucker line. And they'll be like, yep.
It's so funny. There's all that kind of stuff. Recapping this one because we're not so crazy to think that people will, although the numbers are kind of high on the string, which is wild. But
that's fun.
The Believe Network, BLEAV.com. We just signed the contract today. Ink is wet. Digital ink is wet. So we will be releasing twice a week starting next week. So we're going to be live from Howie's on Mondays. We are going to host Monday Night Football from Howie's. Come hang out with us. Come do the thing we've always kind of traditionally done. That will be available on Believe immediately after that. So we're wildly excited about that. And then later in the week, and this is going to be dependent upon schedules. So we're currently working a really fun interview process with Believe to get all their talent in some transition stuff. So we're super neat. But we're then going to release a second show every week, which is going to be great. We're still going to do the Green Room from Hyenas, so that's also going to exist in our world.
Still going to be rocking.
Filling the holes with Max Machado and Van Nunley, that's still going to exist. I didn't mention Andy Lyman with the Green Room, so that's a thing. Also, we're rebirthing Going Over, myself and Saleh Taylor, so we're wildly excited about that. Also, it's going to be a call to action for kind of all the really talented content creators in this community. We are going to put together a fellowship that does not currently exist. We've already planted 100 seeds. That might be the exact number. I think we've probably reached out to 100 people that we identify as talented. And what we're going to do is put together the best one-stop through TalkABQ Productions and make sure that we're creating content that people can be proud of and impressed by and hopefully passionate about. So that's going to be incredibly good. Other big announcements, including you and I, is we're going to voice Ice Wolves hockey. So we're wildly excited about that. Got a ton of opportunities there. We're emceeing the big announcement.
Oh, let me take a note real quick.
Yep, go ahead. Hockey.
Learn
hockey.
About hockey.
Yeah.
Okay. On it.
And then we're going to create new products, right? Not to put anyone's name out there specifically, but, we have a very healthy relationship with the Albuquerque Yardbarks, which is rugby. And, Joel Luevino has kind of been in the leadership role over there for years. We met him through happenstance, but because of this program. And, once we have, and I'm telling you, I say once we have the capabilities, we already have it. We do it with pro wrestling. We do have the capabilities, but let's make rugby. I was just talking to the Sanjays over the weekend. Let's do that. Let's make every weird sport that exists around the world. Let's do cricket. Let's make those things.
You'd be wildly surprised how many people are into cricket in Albuquerque.
I'm into
nuts.
It. Yeah. But it's about producing that stuff and make it make sense. And so we're excited. And lastly, and I mean, you can kind of kick me off when you're ready to kick me off, but thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you for you, Van Nunley, for buying into this thing. Thank you to all the wild support we have had thus far along the way. If it's ABQ Central or Two Men On or the relationship with KNML or the relationship with ProView Networks and the relationship with, I could keep going. I'm looking at the live chat. There are people from literally all over the country in this thing. And you go,
awesome.
It's awesome. I don't know what time it is on the East Coast. Yes, I do now that I just looked at my watch.
I don't know how time zones work. You tell me what time it is.
You're working in the middle of the night. But yeah, by no means are we even close to considering not producing. And we're very excited to produce in a new fashion. So thank you to Jared Hart. We didn't mention Jared Hart.
Yeah.
Jared Hart was our program director when we were doing terrestrial radio. You and I were brokering weekends. It was going really well. He said, "Hey, I like this thing you're doing. Let's give you an opportunity to do the week." We made that transition, which not to give you too much inside radio, but that was going from like independent contractors to W-2 employees and kind of all the handbooks.
Which I hated. It sucks, dude. Shout out to anybody who's doing a corporate cubicle life. Oh my God. If I have to take another sexual assault training, another racism sensitivity training, I am going to go postal.
The number of times I've had to tell my boss no because I don't want to do something like a boss has never heard no before in life. What I don't want to do? I don't want to sign the social media thing. Like, I don't like it. The way it's written, I don't want to be responsible for. No. I don't want to have to monitor the comments of, so I'm not signing it. Yeah. And you would think the world was coming to an end. Like, you mean you don't want to work here? No. What I mean is
this.
Yeah. Well, listen, we need you to first of all create a Facebook page because you don't have one. And I go, again, not interested. And then they go, and then we need you to log into this thing so you can be part. No, like, I'm not your boy. Like get a 20-year-old intern. By the way, assistants don't exist in radio anymore, but get someone who's passionate about that thing because I'm not your guy. And that's one example. But the amount of no that you have to, the amount of boundaries you have to be able to set in your life, do it, friends. Like, set your boundaries. And then eventually end up unemployed like me and Van. But set your boundaries.
But again, I will reiterate, by our own choice. We were not thrown out. We were not kicked out. We were not asked to leave. This is our decision, friends of the show. We have a vision of what TalkABQ and all of our other programming is going to look like. And we think that we have better methods to get it out there to you and present it to you in the way that we see fit, in our own vision and our own control over the content. And that is why this is happening. No other reason. Don't believe the rumor mill. The rumors about Fred and what he did at the zoo are all false. That is not why, I assure you. And beyond that, again, to piggyback what you said, like, we obviously would not be able to be here without all the support we received throughout the years, the OG friends of the show, the OG sponsors, everyone that we've had a relationship throughout the years. We would not be able to do it without you, businesses, nonprofits, organizations in the community. We're very, very lucky. We're two lucky dudes to have the support that we have had over the past few years. And dare I say, we'll continue to have in the future while we bring you new products, we bring you new forms of entertainment, and take what you're familiar with and sprinkle a couple little spices on it and bring it back to you again. And to the friends of the show, the fans out there, oh my God, holy shit, has the outpouring of love and support
There's a lot.
been incredible. And that's kind of our fault because
Yeah.
we didn't give you warning. Like, we didn't tell you this was coming.
Should've.
We wanted it to be somewhat of a surprise. Literally today, literally on social media, yesterday and the day before, we didn't want to make a big hullabaloo that we're deciding to change and like play the sad music in the background while the boat cast off into the ocean and we're waving from a distance till we just look like ants on the horizon. That wasn't our goal. We just want to rip that Band-Aid off and start again. So everyone who's joining us on this journey, thank you so much for your support. You're fucking incredible.
Yeah, it has been wild. Also, we tried to sneak it in over Labor Day weekend. We thought if we put out a social media post on Saturday that
everyone's camping, no one's going to notice.
No, people actually don't like their families. We learned they were just on their phone. Going to digital immediately. So our first thing comes out Monday. We're wildly excited about it. We will be at Howie's. Come hang out with us the way you have for years. Nothing is changing with us. Below this, though, I put our emails. So it's Fred at TalkABQ and Van at TalkABQ. I know most people don't want to talk to Van, so send me an email.
Nice.
But if you want to be in, let us know. We'll figure it out. And you're like, Fred, I don't have any money. I don't have a business. We're not even talking sponsors. If you're like excited to do a thing, hell, you want to be part of pro wrestling, you want to do whatever. Make sure you're connected to us. Like it's that easy. Also, we don't hide our phone numbers from anyone. Like we're regularly available. Come see us at Howie's. Take the time. I will tell you this: when we do announce our terrestrial landing, which I believe will be maybe by the end of this week, next week, when we do announce our terrestrial landing, we will absolutely have a opportunity to come and be a part of that. Like that will be a sponsored traditional way that we've always done it. We're bringing everyone that we already have with us, which is tremendous.
Yeah.
But in theory, we're going to have a lot more leeway where I'll just give you an example. I just saw Gabe the Barber jump into the live stream. A guy like Gabe the Barber doesn't necessarily have radio rates as, a lone barber chair. He's already paying a brokerage. He's already, doing those things.
Yeah.
Or a chair rental or whatever. So we're going to get real creative on doing some stuff, helping those people, and I'm looking here. I see the comic book guys are in here too. It's, hey, you don't need us to promote you on Tuesdays every single week. They already know comic books come out on Tuesdays. Like there's no confusion, but you're holding your spectacle quarterly, bring out the Batmobile, bring out all that. Yeah, we got you. We both host a ton of stuff at Comic-Con. We're like king of the nerds. Like we hit that audience. Like, let us figure out a way to help you do that thing. Literally the only people that we don't help are the people that don't want to be helped. Like the people that in their own opinion have it figured out. Oh, here's a great question. I don't know why we didn't mention this. Zay Johnson. Isaiah Johnson was our producer for a long time. We've never really talked about it on air a ton, but Isaiah came in as part of my time in New Mexico Highlands University. So when I was at New Mexico Highlands University as an athletic director, we're not on radio. Like I did not enjoy it. Like I really enjoyed broadcasting. I really enjoyed doing the games. I loved working with Steve Davis. They cycled me in a bunch of other co-hosts for other sports, but that's whatever. That part I was into. College athletics administration was not for your boy. And you're like, well, Fred, you don't like to work hard. You don't get it. I tell you what, I work hard at helping. And not necessarily New Mexico Highlands having their mind to help everyone. And that broke my heart. And when I was leaving heartbroken, I saw some atrocities. And one of those was the way that Zay Johnson was treated by the university. And I won't tell his story. It's not my story to say. But it was, how can I help you, brother? It's like, what can we do? And he moves to town. He lives, this story. He lives in my home for a while. Like we get him a job at the Y. We get him a job at the radio station. we help him do a ton of stuff. He is one of the boys. His name's in the intro. He's one of the boys. It's the whole thing. And then he graduated even outside of us. Like, we didn't even do this. Like, he found Nikki Bronstorp, who's a really great realtor in town, who we both know as well. And she says, "Oh, you know those guys?"
They shout out to John Lopez as well, OG friend of the show. Always doing cool stuff in the community. Yeah.
They say, "Hey, we have a great. You played in radio. Great, you did your thing. Come with us. Become a real estater." He's in real estate now. Like, he's if the time where he called and was like, "Hey, I really want to create a thing and do a thing," the answer is yes. We would have him and we would appreciate him. I don't know what his future is in radio otherwise. But yeah, he is your guy for realty. Work with him. He will sell you a home. He will sell your home. And I'll tell you what he'll do is he'll be really nice to you the whole time, because he's a
that's the sticking point right there. He is a good human and he's nice.
Yeah. Like,
it's rare sometimes in the business world, but he's one of the real ones.
Not the worst 1 hour uninterrupted, but I do realize that I have a pee maximum. I have to go pee.
Yeah, those 3.5, 4 minute commercial breaks came in handy sometimes.
And I would sprint. I have very long legs. I would sprint.
I'm considering just cathetering every program, so I don't even got to worry about it.
Yeah, I actually have a small bottle.
Just like Trump at a press conference. Just going to catheter this bad boy.
You know what we did miss out on mentioning was Zay's
also our friends at Depends. If I don't catheter, it's definitely going to be Depends. So VAN at TalkABQ. Give me some of that diaper money, baby. Let's go.
From the Instagram live stream, you forgot to mention that he is a Drake fan. That's talking about Isaiah, and that's correct. So he does have that one giant deficit.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Besides that, great dude.
Besides that, I would tell Mike Vitale jokes, but I'm at the end of it on this thing. Like, there's also, if I told him, no one would believe him.
Yeah.
So
I got an idea.
Okay.
Let's do it again on Monday. What do you say?
Monday, we're live from Howie's. We are then hosting Monday Night Football the way that we traditionally have forever. Big thank you to the YMCA. Big thank you to Howie's. Big thank you to Scott Isham of Isham Dental. Big thank you to 66 Diner. Big thank you to the Recognition Place. Yep. Big thank you to Rio Bravo. Big thank you to I9 Sports. Big thank you to all of these partners that we have had for so very long that helped us along our path. You mean the world to us. You are owned and operated by incredibly kind people. Support the sponsors. Cannot stress that enough to you. It makes this whole thing go round. I promise. Lastly, if you need us for anything, Fred at TalkABQ, Van at TalkABQ.com. We are readily and always available. I promise. If not, come see us in person. Do tune in our social media a little bit, because now we're going to have to utilize that until this big terrestrial announcement. So if you want to be out in front, and we'll do the whole thing. We'll do a press release. We'll do a whole, we're legitimately pros. Like, don't let our lackadaisical approach fool you. Like, we're legitimately pros. Yeah. We will get it out there to you, and we are excited to see you in the digital format. And then after that, we're excited to see you terrestrially as we will continue this. Vandia, final words?
Well, I don't got to plug the next morning show, so I guess not this time. I already told all the friends of the show, already told all the partners and sponsors, and I love them, and I can't wait to see them. And we're not on radio, so let's fucking go, baby.
You know what I didn't say that I meant to say? I was so down. I was so down. I was so disheartened from the NFL starting in radio. Like, we were doing into the summer stuff, and the summer's loose. The summer in sports that's when everyone vacations, And as the NFL just kept looming, and it's Thursday, it's tomorrow night. The NFL starts tomorrow night. Yeah. We're going to Sandia. We're doing a little thing with Sandia. But I did not want to spend 3 15-minute segments every hour talking about the NFL. I would have blown my own brains out. Like, I in my pit, I was going, I cannot talk about the NFC East. I cannot talk about backup quarterbacks. I cannot, for a 20-whatever year, pretend to be excited about the NFL, because the zealot losers that support this thing would refuse to hear any sort of punchline thrown. It's like Trump fans. It's like there's no way to talk about this thing entertainingly because you, for some reason, love it more than you love your dog. And I hate that. I hate that that's real. And Van, to not have to watch Thursday Night Football tomorrow is the most release and relief that I think I didn't know was going to happen. And it's awesome. I'm just going to take field goals more than 1.5.
We're just there for the party, baby.
That's it.
Oh, which we always have been.
So
if you've ever been Howie's with us on a Monday or Sadie's on a Thursday or wherever else like we're hanging out, you might notice that we didn't do a lot of sports watching.
No,
we did more joke telling and shit talking and hanging out and having fun. Would you rather's lists? It's like, no, we're not tuned in. We're not plugged in for 3.5 hours watching strangers smash into each other.
The friends of the show on the Instagram feed go, this is really nice. I don't have to pretend like I understand football anymore. Okay. That's same. You and I, speaking of football, do have a fantasy football draft tonight. So we're able to schedule things in the evening, which is wild now. I went to happy hour yesterday. You know how long it's been? You know how incredibly long? God, this is wild. This is how happy hours work. You're Van Nunley. I'm Fred Slow. You didn't have final words, but I traditionally have had the same ones for 20 years, and that's, well, good job, everyone.